All right, in class we went ahead and graphed drops of water on a penny lab. I wanted to give you some more information on graphing so that you have it in your ISN as a resource when you graph other labs throughout the year. You'll need a ruler, a pencil, preferably with an eraser in case you make a mistake, or a standalone eraser. All right, those are the things that you need today. All right, so your composition book, if you need to stop, please stop the video and start it again when you have all those materials. You'll go to page 25. So please go to page 25. It'll be blank in yours. I've already added stuff here that you, or information here that you will be adding here. So we have an acronym. It's called DryMix to help us remember about graphing, right? And I'd like you to copy this down. So DryMix, I'll bring it down closer so you can see it, right? And then we'll talk about it. So stop the video after you're done copying this, but DryMix, right? The D stands for dependent variable, the R, responding variable, Y is graph information on the vertical or Y axes. The mixed part is manipulated variable, the I is independent variable, and the X is graph information on the horizontal or X axes. So please write down what DryMix stands for. You can stop the video till you are ready, and then we will move forward. I'll bring it down closer so you can look at that a little bit closer and see that. All right, when you're ready to move on, please start the video again. All right, so DryMix. All right, so how do we know the X from the Y, where the variables go? So you're going to take your ruler, and right under where you wrote DryMix, we'll draw a nice straight line, just like so. Another one here. You can even use this as a guide, right, of what graphing should look like. So here is the bones of our graph here. And this is our y-axis, and this is our x-axis, if you don't remember that. And I like to remember y as to y to the sky. There's lots of different ways that people remember which is the x and which is the y. The easiest one for me, I like to say y to the sky. So you can put that in your notes, y to the sky, if that helps you remember the x from the y-axis. So if this is our y-axis, right, this is the dry, so dry, right, this is our dependent variable. It's the one that responds to the independent variable. It's along the y-axis. In our example with drops of water, on a penny, this would be the number of drops of water, right? Because that was our dependent variable. That's what we were measuring. Mix, right, goes down here, DryMix. We looked at that. That is the manipulated variable. It's the one we're changing or manipulating, right? It's the independent variable. I like to call it the I variable, right? One that I change is the researcher, and it's on the x-axis of the horizontal, right? So the thing we manipulated, remember drops of water, was the percent soap, right? Remember we had 0, 25, and 50%. So that's why you put it down here, because that was our independent variable. It's the thing that we changed. Here was our dependent variable. Now, how do I grade your graphs? This is really important. We use another acronym, and it's called TAILS. So on page 24, right on the other side, you're going to write down TAILS. So you're going to make a little table. That's why you have your ruler. I just printed mine out so you could read my writing. I figured you could read that better than my writing, but you're going to go ahead and make something that says TAILS, right? That has all this information here. Please stop the video. When you're done, start it again, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. So you, at this point, start at the video again, and you're going to be writing down. You should have this T, right? In TAIL stands for title. The title must be clear and descriptive. So I have some examples here. So the title must be clear and descriptive. So on these 3 here, clear and descriptive, it's nose cone length versus flight distance. It's the same title, nose cone length versus flight distance, nose cone length versus flight distance. So the title should include the IV and the DV, the independent and dependent variable. We're looking at, does the size of the nose cone, right, impact how far what we're measuring, the flight distance. So your title, if you want to put in here as a note, must be clear and descriptive, and you want to include the IV versus the DV, all right? So in drops of water on a penny, you might say, you know, how does the percent soap solution impact the number of drops of water? That's clear and descriptive, so we know what we're looking at. A stands for the axes, all right? So it's drawn neat and straight. And with our ruler, like we did over here, we have a nice and straight, right? Each one of these, this is actually a rubric, is worth 2 points. So you want to make sure you get all 10 points when you do any kind of graphing. The intervals, right, is each interval increases by an equal amount and is clearly numbered. So if you look at the example here, right, they're going by 2, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? You want to make sure it's not 2, then 5, then 9, and 17, right? You want to make them clear, so either by 1s or by 2s, something that makes sense for your data, and that they're equal amounts and is clearly numbered. Your labels, right, correctly indicate what is graphed, and in parentheses indicate the units. So here we have, if you could see, this is the flight distance in meters, and it's the same for all these: flight distance in meters, flight distance in meters, right? So I know that these numbers don't mean miles, they don't mean inches or centimeters or millimeters. I know that it's meters. So you want to make sure that you have that unit of measure here. That's really important, right? So we know if we started out here's 4, the flight distance started at 4 meters, and then later up to about 13 meters, it looks like. All right, and that goes for down here as well. So our nose cone length, right? As the nose cone gets bigger, by increments of 1 through 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That it's in centimeters. I know this is a nose cone that's 8 centimeters long, right? And that it flew a flight distance of, 11 meters, right? The last thing is scale, which is really important. Pick the intervals so that most of the graph paper is used to plot the data. So if we have our biggest number is 13, right? We want to make sure we've made those intervals really wide instead of tiny. You don't want 13 to be down here where our bars are super squished. So you want to do something that uses most of the graph paper so we can see the differences between the different nose cone lengths, like here, 1, 2, 5, and 10. All right, so tails is just a way to help you remember all the elements that you need in a graph. We're not going to do too much in scatter plots, but we will do a lot of bar and line graphs in this class. So what I'd like you to do before you're done is draw, you can pick the bar or the line graph, right? And I want you to completely make sure you have all the elements there of the parts of tails. So go ahead and pick actually, I want you to do both. Let's do bar and line. You can make 2 little graphs below here. You don't need to do the scatter plot. So you can turn off, you can pause the video while you go ahead and create a good example of tails so you have something to refer to, bar and line graph. And that's it. When you're done with this, I'm going to ask you to take a picture of both page 24 and 25 so I know that you did this and took the notes as needed. You also want to make sure that you write in your table of contents page 24 and 25. So page 24 is tails and 25 is dry mix, right? And today, whatever day you're doing this, October 12th and maybe October 13th, whatever day you're doing this. So make sure you have that all on there. Obviously, I need to finish that up, and hopefully your table of contents is all up to date. Thanks for listening.